Welcome to the Voice Coach Podcast, here for all your speaking voice training and guidance. My name is Nick Redman and I am offering you all sorts of nuggets of wisdom on how to keep your voice in good working order and a true representation of who you are. So if you're a podcaster, presenter, actor, speaker or voiceover artist or a general voice geek, you're in good hands. Shall we get started? Phone off, brain on. Hello dear listener, welcome back. Now, you know I'm an equal opportunities voice geek, yeah? I love all voices and all bits of the phonation process, like literally all of it. Kinda have to. But if I had to pick one bit that I maybe sort of loved a teeny weeny bit more, it might be this one. And it's the jaw. Oh yes. Now, you might be listening to this as someone who grinds their teeth at night or clenches their jaw at night, or as someone who has a clicky jaw, or one of those jaws that has a tendency to like pop out at the side if you open your mouth too wide for a bite of something really big, like a sandwich. Or you might just be someone who finds themselves with a bit of jaw pain every now and again and you don't know why, or you're struggling with vocal fatigue and you don't know why, or you're tripping up over certain words, or making, peculiar noises when you speak and you don't know why. Well, a lot of these things can be linked to excess jaw tension. Now, one of the important things to mention about excess jaw tension before we go any further is that it can be a symptom of another element of the phonation or the voice making process not working efficiently. So like for many voice users, jaw tension can sometimes be linked back to issues with airflow and support, for example. So it's always worth looking beyond the jaw for additional solutions and checking in with a pro for some tip-top guidance. But what I've found with jaw release is that it can really help people with lots of things, and certain results are pretty instantaneous or feel nice really quickly, which can be a really exciting thing to experience if you're new to voice training and really motivate you as a voice user to delve into the potential of it a little bit further, which I think is great, sort of like a shiny thing on top of the voice training cake. Cherry, that might be it. And I do love hearing people enjoy the feeling of releasing the jaw, so I did want to share some tips with you. It comes in the articulation section of this podcast because it is one of the main articulators. It's one of the movable bits of the vocal equipment that helps shape the sound, which is obviously very important. So some of the things that you might experience as a result of releasing jaw tension may include things like, extra volume for minimal effort, extra vocal variety with minimal effort, extra speech clarity for, you guessed it, minimal effort, a sense of mental release though and calm and help with anxiety also, and less pain in the jaw over time often. And some who I've worked with actually have been able to stop things like grinding their teeth at night or successfully reduced or removed jaw clicking as well. So it's certainly worth exploring. Now, of course, step one is awareness. What a surprise. Many speakers don't even know they have jaw tension, I don't think I even knew I had it until someone was like, by the way, do you know you've got jaw tension? So thanks to that person about 8 years ago. But I think it really helps to know why we experience jaw tension so much, aside from any issues that might be related to the voice making process and breath, as mentioned earlier. If we think about it, the jaw is really quite busy. Like it's heavily involved in all the chewing that we do to eat, mastication, and it's heavily involved in talking to start with. But that's not it. Now, Linklater has this wonderful quote in Freeing the Natural Voice, she says, reaching for her book, which gives us a lovely insight into what the jaw represents. Let me find the page. So, this is me reading from Freeing the Natural Voice by Kristen Linklater. One of the strongest and most universal muscular defense systems is in the jaw hinges. Clenching the teeth is a sure way to avoid opening the throat wide enough for a scream of fear to escape, so a bulging jaw muscle comes to represent bravery and strength. Rage is nailed down in the muscles of the jaw. When the camera zooms in for a close-up of a set jaw, you know that the battle will commence and the strong man will win. If the jaw muscle twitches, however, you must infer some conflicting emotion and inner struggle, even a little neurosis. I'm skipping down a few lines. We have been conditioned, subtly and not so subtly, to use the jaw more as an iron gate to be slammed shut against the onslaught of emotions than a wide-flung portal through which imprisoned feelings can leap to freedom. That's quite profound and totally true. We've been conditioned to use our jaw to keep us safe and to suppress our emotions, especially if you're in the UK. And we've not been taught to allow our jaw to drop wide to let the sound out. Like we're doing it the wrong way around. Oh, Kristen, she knew her stuff. So no wonder we get a bit tense every once in a while, eh? And it can really help for you to start bringing your attention to any moments in your life where you feel you may experience jaw tension, or you feel that clamping shut, or notice what happens when you stop yourself from crying, or tell yourself not to tell that person how you really feel, or you push those emotions down for the sake of other people or social interactions, all that kind of thing. Just turn the cameras inwards, to quote Barbara Houseman, and have a little look at when you start to get jaw tension, because it's that awareness that's going to help us implement the release once you know how to do it. Anyway, I'm going to share a couple of exercises in this episode to help explore releasing the jaw tension. A bit of an intro to jaw release, if you will. One's a massage, a physical massage with your fingers that can help to encourage release in some of the main muscle groups involved in moving the jaw. And the other is something a little more mindful, which I'm sure you know by now I'm a big fan of. Let me just put my book down. There we go. And I'm rubbing my hands together because I'm going to start touching my face. So the first thing you're going to do is just gently put your hands on the sides of your face. And my hands are fingers pointing upwards towards my hairline, thumbs back under my ears, just as if you were mimicking that lovely Macaulay Culkin aftershave moment in the mirror in Home Alone. Terrifying scream optional. But what we're going to do now is just get to know a little muscle in the jaw, and then we're going to massage it. So if you clench and release your teeth, you'll feel a bulging, sort of underneath your fingers. That's the masseter muscle, and that's the muscle that we're going to target with this particular massage. So now stop clenching and releasing your teeth. Just let your jaw drop. And as always, keep breathing through this. But just with the tips of your fingers, you're going to start at the top of that muscle. Now that muscle starts at the cheekbone. So find your cheekbone and just pad your fingers along your cheekbone and find the bit as if you were coming down from the eyes over the cheekbone, and you were putting your fingers just where it starts to get squishy underneath the cheekbone in front of the ear. So we're working with about the inch and a half just in front of the ear over the temporomandibular joint, the TMJ. And you're going to pull your fingers over that muscle that was bulging from the cheekbone down in front of the ears towards the back jaw corner. So the back jaw corner, if you take your fingers and you put your index finger underneath your earlobe and run down the back of the jaw, you'll feel like a corner. Quite a pointy corner, really. But that bit over there is where this muscle sort of runs into. So you're going to take your fingers and just gently run them over that muscle from the cheekbone down to the back jaw corner. Make sure you're not smushing right forward into the cheeks. I'm doing this with my voice to kind of mimic what I mean, but sometimes people have a tendency just to sweep really far forward with this one into the squishy bits of the cheek, and that's not quite what we're after. Remember, it's that bulgy bit that we're trying to massage. So from the cheekbone down, almost in a straight line towards the back jaw corner. Let your jaw drop while you're doing this. Let yourself breathe through that space. You might be going, Nick, that really hurts. In which case, notice it. That's fine, very normal. Might mean there's just a little bit of tension in there, but this is massaging, remember? So any massage, if it's good for you, is going to have a little bit of discomfort, if they're really working through some muscle tension. So you're just going to gently massage from the cheekbone all the way down. And I'm just sweeping. I'll come close to the mic in case this works as a sound effect. I'm sweeping down and off. So I'm not going in circles. I'm not massaging up and back, anything like that. It's from the cheekbone, down and off. Back to the cheekbone, down over that muscle and off the bottom. Oh, I needed that today. I've done so much talking. Plus it's 2 days before my holiday and things are a little bit stressful. So that's the massaging lovely manipulation of that muscle. That might be interesting to note how it feels now. So just close your eyes and tune into any sensations in that muscle. It might just feel warmer, might feel squishier, might feel longer, might feel a bit buzzier, who knows. But we're going to finish that bit and move on to the more mindful exercise, which should be done for my money straight after this one, which is if you put your hands out in front of you, cupped together as if you're begging for something more. Let's think another film reference, Oliver. Please, sir, can I have some more? Like you've got a bowl in your hands, and you're going to imagine that lovely hand bowl is full of feathers, lovely floaty feathers. And you're going to gently put your hands up to your face, as if you're covering your whole face with your hands, but imagining there's a lovely layer of feathers between your hands and your face, and just gently draw down, really gently over the face, like you're giving the front of your face a really gentle stroke. And while you're doing that, you're letting the jaw drop. You're letting your body experience any extra space in the jaw or any extra muscle length that you may have reached with that little massage, and just say to your brain, look, we're a bit released. That's interesting, isn't it? We're safe, but we're trying to let go of jaw tension. Just notice it and tell yourself a narrative that is positive about experiencing a little bit of release there. And just sigh through that space. Take a minute just to check in on how that feels. It's lush, isn't it? I instantly feel calmer when I release my jaw. I'd really recommend popping some jaw release into your day so your body starts to experience that difference in the physical setting in that area, because it's so easy for habitual jaw tension to creep in and for your body just to think that that's how you have to work, when actually you don't. And actually, this is how much I love jaw release, right? I have a whole downloadable course on jaw release, which explores even more exercises like these. How great is that? So it's like 5 consecutive days, and each day you get a wee video that's like 10 minutes or so, which takes you through another exercise that helps you to get to know your jaw and explores release exercises and range of movement. And then it finally introduces sound and speaking back through what is hopefully more relaxed jaw posture. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. I've done it a few times as a live course with some folks from the Voice and Accent Hub, and everyone just has a lovely time because it's so calming. Anyway, it's wonderful. And there's actually a support community on Facebook in a little private group, so everyone who's done the course can come in there if they've got any questions and just talk about how great having a released jaw is. It's a really cool exclusive club. So check the link in the show notes for that if you're interested, or just go to my website and have a wee gander. Yeah, it's called Jaw Release Week because it's a week of jaw release. Right, that's it for now. See you for the next instalment of the Voice Coach podcast. We're going to be moving through more of the brilliant articulators and how we can free them up and release them and make them more responsive to our thoughts and our emotions and our voices. But for now, happy jaw wobbling. Thanks for listening to the Voice Coach podcast. For even more support with your speaking voice, head on over to our free community, the Voice and Accent Hub on Facebook. See you in there.